Indra also gave the Parijata leaf. Shyameka Varnan Varno Hayan Sukalan Manodavan Ashtodi Pratikoshan Lokapalo Nidodayam. Lord Varuna offered horses and ships at the mine, some of which were pure dark blue, others white. The treasurer of the demigods, Kuvera, gave his 8 mystic treasures, and the rulers of various planets each presented their own opulences. Yadyat Bhagavatam Adhupatyam Sarvithale Sarvam Pratyarthayam Sura Haro Bhumi Gadeva. The Supreme Lord, having come to the earth, O King, these demigods now offered him whatever powers of control he had previously delegated to them for the exercise of their particular wishes. Now to read first. Tatra yoga parabhavena nitva sarvajanam hari prajapalena ramena Krishna Samanamantita Nirjagama Puradvara Karnamadi Nirayuha Tatra Yoga Parabhavena Nitva Sarvajanam Hari Prajapalena Ramena Krishna Samanamantita Nirjana Puradvara Karnamadi Nirayuha Tatra Yoga Prabhavena Nitva Sarvajanam Hari Prajapalena Ramena Krishna Samanamantita Nirjagama Puradvara Karnamadi Nirayuha By the power, Nitva, bringing, Sarva, all, Janam,
subjects. Hari, Lord Krishna, Praja, of the citizens, Palena, by the protector, Ramena, Lord Balaram, Krishna, Lord Krishna, Samanumantritaha, advised, Nirjagama, went out, Pura, of the city, Dwarat, by the gate, Padma, of lotus flowers, Mali, wearing a garland, Nirayudha, without weapons. Translation and purport by the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada disciples ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. After transporting all his subjects to the new city by the power of his mystic Yoga Maya, Lord Krishna consulted with Lord Balaram, who had remained in Mathura to protect it. Then, wearing a garland of lotuses but bearing no weapons, Lord Krishna went out of Mathura by its main gate. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti quotes the following verses from Sri Padma Puran, Uttarakhanda, to describe how Lord Krishna transferred the citizens from Mathura to Dwarka. Shushuptan Mathurayan tu Paurams Tatra Janardana Uddritya Sahasa Ratro Dwarakayam Nyaveshayat Prabuddhaste Jana Sarve Putradara Samanvita Haimaharmyatale Vishta Vishmayam Paramam Yayo. In the middle of the night, as the citizens of Mathura slept, Lord Janardana suddenly removed them from that city and placed them in Dwarka. When the men awoke, they were all amazed to find themselves, their children, and their wives sitting inside palaces made of gold. Thus, in the purports of the humble service of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to the 10th canto, 50th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Krishna establishes the city of Dwarka. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadhudutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsya Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Sarvani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshutali Namo Mahabadanyaya Krishna Prem Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratishihe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Mishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balbhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannatha Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Bhukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Guru Dinatarim. Hare Krishna. So seek blessings of all the Vaishnavas Uh, I'm extremely unqualified to sit on this Vyasasana and speak Bhagavatam, but by devotees' request and their blessings, I'm given this opportunity. So I seek blessings of all Vaishnavas and speaking this for with my purification. Hare Krishna. So we are in the 10th canto, and Lord Krishna is enacting so many wonderful pastimes. Initially we saw the Lord's Vrindavan, sweet Vrindavan pastimes. And then from Vrindavan, Lord went to Mathura, and there he has many pastimes, killing of the dhobi and pleasing his devotees, Tribakra, and then killing of Kamsa. So this Krishna Katha is so wonderful. Nibrita tarse rupagiyamana bhavoshadi shotra manohirama. So this Krishna Katha is the right medicine for the conditioned souls who are undergoing the repeated birth and death because of their material attachments. And they're always facing tribulations, sufferings, anxieties, and these are going on constantly. Like last week, I was in my home and I was meeting many of my relatives, my maternal uncles, and then my grandmother, my Naniji, and of course my parents. So while talking to them and spending time with them, I could understand actually people are undergoing so many anxieties and sufferings and so many problems, but they face up like they are very happy, but inside they are actually going through a lot of suffering. Like I went to my Mamaji's place, and my grandmother, my Naniji, is staying there. So she's quite old and having a lot of bodily difficulties, and she's having very terrible relationship problem with her daughter-in-law. Daughter-in-law is always speaks very harshly, and whenever this my grandmother says that I am having this pain and that pain, she says that you are doing drama, you are making a show. And both my Mamaji and Mami, they are like educated and having good job. So she is quite proud and always speaks harshly. So when I went home, I went to my mama's place. As soon as I went to my grandmother, she started crying, crying very piteously. Started telling about, first of all, he said his about her bodily problems, but more than that was her relationship with daughter-in-law. That she is very harsh. And even I was there. My mommy came and told, "Don't think that she is crying because of you. She is crying because I told her, and these things happen." So, like in my presence also, she was quite arrogant. So anyway, my grandmother told, "Okay, stop this. You speak something about Krishna." So that gave me opportunity to speak some Krishna Katha. So I discussed some pastimes of Lord, how Lord appeared, and Krishna's childhood pastimes. And then I told about Parikshit Maharaj, how he was preparing for the death. He had only 7 days to live. So the absorption is Parikshit Maharaj is the ideal meditation for a man or woman who is at a very fag end. So I did some Krishna Katha and Kirtan and singing some bhajan. And then I saw my grandmother was quite pacified and quite relaxed and feeling some hope and some joy. So she told me, "Please pray for me that when Lord will show His mercy. So I could see that actually this Krishna Katha or the Hari Katha is a real medicine and real shelter, because whichever situation we are in, either in family life or in ashram or whatever situation we are in, there will be always some problems, some anxieties, some issues. But if we anchor ourselves with this eternal pastimes, eternal narrations of the Lord, then we can be fixed up in our devotional life. We can be steady, developing the right attachment. So, coming back to our past time of discussion, that this chapter is entitled Lord Krishna establishes the city of Dwarka. So I saw that how Krishna killed Kamsa, and following this event, Kamsa's two wives, Asti and Prapti, were very much aggrieved, and they went to their father Jarasandh, describing their grief, that how they are being made widowed by this Krishna. So Jarasandh became so angry hearing this, that he told that not only Krishna, I will destroy the whole Yadava dynasty. And so he started preparing for the battle, and he entered Mathura, the outskirts of Mathura, along with his 23 Aksoni sons. And here we see Krishna, his Leelas are so wonderful that Krishna is thinking what to do about this Jarasandha. So he had three options, whether kill Jarasandha and capture the army, or leave Jarasandha, destroy the army, or kill both the Jarasandha and their army. So this is a wonderful way Krishna enacts pastime, that he appears as like ordinary mortals, thinking, making strategy. So, but later we see that Krishna decides to leave Jarasandha, thinking that he will help me fulfill the purpose of my coming to this material world, of destroying the demons. So he will be my agent. So we saw that Jarasandha brought all the Aksoni senas for 17 times, and every time they came, Krishna destroyed the army, killed all the soldiers, and left Jarasandha to bring the rest of the soldiers. And a special thing happened when Jarasandha brought his soldiers for the 18th time, because this time there was another opponent, another great demon named Kalyavana, who was having the fury of Mahakal, of Mahadev, the son of Gargya. So this Kalyavana was looking for a perfect match, and then he was told by Narad Muni that you go to Mathura, you will find out the perfect match. So both this Jarasandha and Kalyavana are attacking Mathura. So now Lord Krishna is again thinking what to do, discussing with Balaram, making strategies. Then they decided that let us shift the whole of Mathura to a new city of Dwarka. And as we see that Krishna is making this strategy and transferring all the citizens of Mathura to the city of Dwarka, and he is going out to face Kalyavana. So this is the theme that is being here, that how Lord pastimes are full with suspense, thrill, twists and turns. So in this chapter only, in the text 29, in the purport, it is mentioned about the one argument of Aristotle. That Aristotle would tell that Lord or Supreme God is a divine being. So he doesn't take part in humanly activities which are very ordinary. He is way in his abode doing his work, and he has nothing to do with the ordinary mortals. But interestingly, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur quotes some important verses from Gopal Tapani Upanishad, where it is mentioned that Narakriti Parabrahma Karana Manusha, that the Supreme Absolute Truth, for his own purpose, for relishing his own pastimes, appears like a human-like form. Also in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 14th chapter, we find this verse, Yan Mitram Paramanandam Purnam Brahma Sanatanam, that the source of transcendental bliss, the Supreme Parabrahma, has become the friend, lover and well-wisher of all the Brajavasis. So it's not like Lord is there in his abode doing his own activity, but Lord does come to this material world, and not only comes but enacts sweet, humorous and thrilling, adventurous pastimes. And not only in Krishna Lila, in other Leelas also I see how Lord is enacting such awesome pastimes. We see in the pastimes of Lord Ramchandra, that his wife Sita is being captured by Ravan, and now he is making strategy with Sugriv how to get Sita back. So now he is making strategy that we have to cross the ocean, we have to build a bridge, and we have to fight with the Asuras. And while performing this pastime, he is also engaging his devotees, the Banaras, the monkey shoulders, and his dear devotee Hanuman, giving them massive tasks. So this is how Lord enacts his pastime, that he himself relishes the pastime, he engages his devotees, and for millions of years this pastime becomes a source of great pleasure for the devotees and for the conditioned souls. So here in today's class I will be discussing how Lord performs these wonderful pastimes as in human being form, and not only in human being form, as in his incarnation in other species also, like Matsya, Varaha. He also performs his pastimes, not just for the sake of performing pastimes, but creates such situation that brings out the devotees' surrenders and devotees' love for the Supreme Lord. So as I was mentioning that not only in human, his pastimes as human being, but his pastimes in other species also. So you see in the pastimes of Varahadev. Jai Shri Nitai Gauranga Bhagavan Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So in the pastimes of Varahadev is in the 3rd canto, such wonderful details that once Hiranyaksha, we know about Hiranyaksha, the demoniac sons of Diti and Kasyapa. So this Hiranyaksha, he was creating terror all over the universe, roaring. And once he for his own sporting nature, he dived deep into the ocean and he spent many years sporting in the ocean. And finally he reached the abode of 𝐉𝐻𝐈𝐍, which is the abode of Varuna. And he asked him for a fight, combat. Varuna told, I am now too old to engage in all this warfare. But there is a perfect match for you. Lord Vishnu has appeared, so you engage your expert fighting against Lord, and surely Lord will destroy your pride and smash your skull. So Hiranyaksha, he was too proud, so he didn't care for his words and started searching for who is this Lord, who is this incarnation of Lord Vishnu. So then he was informed about Lord Varahadev. In these pastimes, Lord Varaha was rescuing Mother Earth, which got drowned in the ocean, deep into the ocean. So along through his two tasks, Varahadev lifted the Mother Earth from deep down the ocean, and this Hiranyaksha was waiting about, so that he can fight with the Lord. And as soon as the Lord Varahadev rose out of the water, Hiranyaksha started chastising. Oh amphibious beast! This earth is property of mine, the property of the demons. And today I'll kill you, and I'll gift, and by killing you, I'll gift this earth to my demoniac friends. And Lord Varahadev, he saw that, this Mother Earth is feeling very scared. So first of all, what he did is that he placed it he made it very light. So, and he placed it in the surface of the ocean. And then Varahadev started, he also started replying, a fitting reply, that we are the creatures of the jungle who has appeared to hunt dogs like you. So then Hiranyaksha started to fight with his golden club, and he hurled Lord with his mace, and Lord also started fighting back. And while fighting like this, both of them got injured, and both of them was not only injured but feeling very much rivalry against each other. And seeing this, the demigods were still in doubt whether he is really Lord. They are feeling very, very much horror. So they started telling Varahadev that the time is ending, and the time for the demoniac people is coming. So kindly, quickly kill this demon. Don't play with so much the Lord. Then Hiranyaksha, then Varahadev was pained to hear the words of Hiranyaksha, but he wanted to exhibit his chivalrous pastime. So Varahadev also started fighting with mace, and at one point of time that Hiranyaksha whirled back in Varahadev, and his mace got felled. And seeing this created horror in the demigods. Then Hiranyaksha started showing his magical powers. There's a stool and pus coming from the sky, and there are other magical fish. But Lord, with his disc, destroyed all the illusion. Then there was back and forth. They are fighting. Sometimes it was seen that Hiranyaksha is getting more powerful. Sometimes it was seen that Lord is becoming more powerful. So there was a perfect duel between both of them. And at one point of time, Lord felt that now this is enough. And then what he did, he just punched or slapped Hiranyaksha at the base of his ear, and Hiranyaksha's body started shivering. His eyes came out of the socket, and he protect. 𝐿IKE. So Hiranyaksha, his body felt like a banyan tree being uprooted from its root. So these are the pastimes of the Lord that not only enchants but creates thrill. And by reading these pastimes, our fascination to read novels will be satisfied. So we need not to read outside novels. We can read these pastimes. So then the demigod started praying that, oh my dear Lord, that then they realized this Bharad is none other than Supreme Lord. And they started praying that, my dear Lord, that you appear in this world to destroy the burden of this world, the demoniac population. We the mortals, we are always being tossed in the cycle of birth and death. But for our deliverance, you appear. Though for you, killing this demon is like a child playing with a doll. Child for a doll, he sometimes plays the doll and breaks the doll. So killing this demon is as easy for the Lord. But still, the Lord enacts his pastime in such a way that it brings out the surrender of the devotees, loving prayers from the heart of the devotee. So in this context, Srila Prabhupada mentions that these pastimes are relishable and very enchanting, but they are when they are heard from bona fide sources, from authentic sources, by the persons who are coming down in Guru Parampara. It's also said by the Sanatana Goswami that Avaishnava Mukhodgirinam Utam Harikathamritam Shravanam Naiva Kartabam Sarpochishta Yatha Paya. Even if the Harikatha is being told, but if it's told by unauthorized person or persons who are not coming in the Guru Parampara, following Guru Parampara, their narrations sometimes may be very appealing, but they will not purify the heart, but putrefy the heart. So we must hear these pastimes from a bona fide source. Then we will not only relish the pastime, not only being thrilled, but it also purifies the heart and of material contamination. Also, you see in the pastimes of Matsya Avatar, this comes in 8th canto, how Matsya Avatar favored King Satyabrat, who wanted to receive the mercy of Supreme Lord. So while understanding these pastimes of the Lord, we must remember that these pastimes are enacted in transcendental realm. These are not pastimes that are subjected to material laws or subjected to three modes of nature. Whether he comes as Varahadev or whether he comes as Matsya, Kurma, Nrsimha, all these incarnations are beyond three modes of nature. They are always nirguna, beyond the three modes, not affected by the material laws or material mundane conception. So as I was telling about Matsya Avatar, so once at the end of, there are like Varaha avatars, there are two Matsya avatars. One who appeared in Swayambhu Manvantar to recover the knowledge of Vedas from the demon Hayagriva. And there is another Matsya avatar who appeared at the end of Chakshusha Manvantar, the 6th Manvantar. This is the 7th Manvantar, Vaivashada Manvantar. So in the last Manvantar, Chakshusha Manvantar, Lord Matsya avatar appeared for the second time. And during this time, Lord appeared to show his favor to the king Satyabhat, who was engaged in austerities near the river Kritamala. And while he was performing these austerities, offering oblations, taking water from the river and offering back of the oblations. So when he lifted the water, he saw a very small fish, very sweet looking small fish, and but he saw that fish has come, so he again dropped it back in the river. So then the fish started speaking. The fish told that, "Oh Lord, oh King, I am a small fish, and if you throw me in this river, then the bigger fish will eat me up. So kindly protect me." So see how this awesome that Lord who gives protection to everyone, He is begging for protection. So hearing, because he was king, has a duty to protect all his citizens, so he lifted the fish and he put him in a jar, in a jar. But as soon as he put him in the jar, the fish size increased and he was feeling uncomfortable in the jar. So then he again requested the king, "Oh, this jug is very small for me to stay. Kindly put me in a bigger place." And then the king kept the fish in a well. And similarly, again the fish size increased and became as huge as the well. So again the fish replied him that, "Please get me a nice place." So then the king again put him in a lake, and then again he became of the size of the lake. And like that, then what to do? Then the king, what he did, he last at the end, he put him in the ocean, and this fish became the size of the ocean. This time the king thought, this is not an ordinary fish. This must be Supreme Personality of Godhead. So then the fish revealed, "Yes, I am Supreme Personality of Godhead, and I am enacting these pastimes for a special purpose." So this fish, this Matsya Avatar, he ordered King Satyabhat that from now on to 7 days later, 7 days afterwards, there will be a great pralaya, inundation of water. All the region will be covered with flood, with water. And that time, what you should do? You should take all the herbs and the seeds and the living entities and all the seven great sages and other holy men, and take them into a boat which will be appeared by mercy, and then you tie this boat with the Basuki serpent with the horn of my head. So hearing this order of Matsya Avatar, King Satyavata started meditating, and not sooner than after 7 days, it has happened that the whole region of Earth planet got flooded with water. In this connection, it is mentioned that this pralaya did not happen at the end of like the Manvantara. This happened, like we hear, like when the Brahma's night comes, then there is pralaya. But this special pralaya happens during Brahma's daytime, and it's mentioned that by the arrangement of Lord, this Brahmaji got little day sleep for a short while. So, and during this short while, there is this pralaya. So the whole region, earthly region, got flooded, and as instructed, as ordered by Matsya Avatar, King Satyavata started, that big boat appeared, and King Satyavata loaded all the seeds, herbs, and all the species of living entities, and all the holy men, great sages in the boat, and started and made the Basuki serpent as a tying to the Matsya Avatar, and the Matsya Avatar started rowing back and taking them to a safer place. And while Matsya Avatar was taking them, he was also instructing them the knowledge of Vedas, that how this material world is temporary. Everyone who has taken birth has to die, and the goal of life is to engage in the service of the Lord and purify heart and go back to Godhead. So, hearing these teachings, Pumasya became the spiritual master of all King Satyavatan and all the holy men. And hearing these instructions of the Vedas, all the sages became very pleased. And this narration given by Matsya became part of the Vedic teachings. And many great sages, it is told, many great sages, by hearing this pastimes and these teachings of Matsya perfected their life and went back to Godhead. So, these are the wonderful narrations of Lord, that as I was mentioning, that of the argument made by Aristotle, that this Lord doesn't take part in humanly activities, but not only in humanly activities, he takes part in activities of other species. And religious pastimes, he attracts the living entities towards his own abode, and for us, for people to come in future, there is great narration, hearing which we can be purified, and we also can go back to Godhead by hearing them. And now again coming back to the original text of Lord building this wonderful city of Dwarka. So we'll see a one special pastime that happened in this city of Dwarka. So this comes in the pages of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 21st chapter. So this wonderful narration. This is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu telling the opulence and sweetness of Lord Krishna. And while describing this, he mentioned these pastimes of Lord in Dwarka. So a few minutes remaining, we will just quickly see this special pastimes in Dwarka. So, एक दिन द्वारका ते कृष्ण देखी बारे ब्रह्मा आइला द्वारपाल जनाइलो कृष्ण रे. So once when Krishna was ruling Dwarka, Lord Brahma came to meet him in the city of Dwarka. Krishna कहे ना कौन ब्रह्मा की नाम तहार द्वारे आसी ब्रह्मा रे पूछे आर बार. So the guard came to the gate and asked, which Brahma you are? Kindly describe which Brahma you are, so that I can tell to Lord. Lord is asking, Dwarkadis is asking. विस्मित होइया ब्रह्मा द्वारे के कहिला कहो गया सनो को पिता चतुर्मुख आइला. So tell him, I am Brahma, the father of the four Kumaras. Oh, Krishne janaya dari Brahma re laya gela Krishne rachare ne Brahma dandavata koila. So then Krishna permitted his entry, and then Brahmaji came and offered his dandavat prayers. So then Brahmaji said, Brahma kahe taha pache koribo nibedan ek sanchay mone hoy koro bhachedan. So Lord was telling what reason you came here. So Brahmaji said, I will tell that later. First of all, you tell me, why did you ask which Brahma you are in? कौन ब्रह्मा पूछले तुम्हें कौन अभिप्राय आमागोई जगते और कौन ब्रह्मा है? So Brahmaji asked, is there any other Brahma besides me? सुनी हासी कृष्ण तवे कोरी लेना ध्यान असंख्य ब्रह्मार गण आइला ततक्षण. Then Lord Krishna meditated, and all the Brahmas from different millions and trillions of universes appeared in the city of Dwarka. Dasa Visha Sata Sahasra Ajuta Lakha Badan Koti Arbuda Mukhakaro Najayagano. So there are 10-headed Brahmans, there are 100-headed Brahmas, there are 1,000-headed Brahmas, and there are millions of headed Brahmas. There are Koti, Arbud-headed Brahmas, like 10 to the power 17, I think. And countable number of heads, which very difficult to count. Rudragana Aila Lakha Koti Badan, Indragana Aila Lakha Koti Nayan. So in every universe there is Indra, there is Rudra, so all of them also appeared. Dekhi Chaturmukha Brahma Phapara Haila Hastigana Madhyajana Shashaka Rahila. So Brahma could see all these great Brahmas which so many heads, and when he saw them he felt like a rabbit among so many elephants. Krishna Vachinta Sakti Lakhite Keho Nare Jato Brahma Tato Murti Eki Sarire. No one can estimate the inconceivable potency of Krishna. All the Brahmas who were there were resting in one body of Krishna. So here something wonderful happened, that this Brahma, this four-headed Brahma, he could see all the Brahmas, but none of these other Brahmas, they are able to see only Krishna. They are not able to see the other Brahmas. Padapitha Mukudagra Sankate Utthe Dhani Padapitha Suti Kare Mukuta Ena Jani. So when all the helmets stuck together at Krishna's lotus feet, there was a tumultuous sound. It appeared that helmets themselves were offering prayers unto Krishna's lotus feet. So all the Brahmas offered prayer. Jor hate Brahma Rudra di kare savana baro kripa karila Prabhu dekhaila charana. So all these Brahmas started offering praise, thanking the Lord for giving the opportunity to come to his abode, and all of them said that is our great fortune to have your darshan. Then Krishna said, Krishna kahe toma sab dekhite chitta hoila tahalagi ekathai savaye balaila. Then Lord Krishna said, actually I wanted to see all of you together, you Brahma, Indra and other Shiva. Sukhi hao sabe kichu nahi doitya bhay tara kahe tomar prasade sarvatra jay. All of you should be happy. Is there any fear of the demons? Then they replied, by your mercy, where the universe is being managed perfectly. Samprati prithivite jeba hoya chilabhar avatirna hoya taha kurila samsar. Whatever burden was upon the earth, you have taken away by descending to that planet. So actually, what was happening, that this Brahma, they are feeling that they are there in their own universe and Lord has appeared in their universe. They're not thinking that they have gone to some other universe. Dvarakadi vibhu tare eito praman amare brahmande Krishna savara vailogan. So this is the proof of Dwaraka's opulence. All the Brahmas thought that Krishna is now staying in my jurisdiction. So all the Brahmas were thinking that Krishna is in my universe only. Tabe Krishna sarva brahma gane vidaya dila dandavata haya sava nije ghare gela. Then Lord Krishna bid farewell, and after their paying their obeisances, Brahma, all the Brahmas, but thinking that in their own universe only, they returned to their abode. But this Brahma, he could see all the other Brahmas. So this is the opulence of this great city of Dwaraka, that all the Brahmas can be fitted. And we see many other pastimes that Lord performed in Dwaraka, marrying 16,108 wives and building palaces for everyone. And as previously discussed, this city of Dwaraka was not just an ordinary city, but there were highway roads, parks, and beautiful fountains. And just like as a first-class city, which we may not be able to even dream of, that was the opulence of Krishna. And this all happened by the sweet and enchanting Yogamaya potency of the Lord. So, hearing these pastimes, enchants our hearts, thrills us, and purifies our heart. So, by regularly hearing, as it said that Kalena Nati Dirghena Bhagavan Vishate Hridi, that Lord is established in the heart by hearing regularly these narrations of Lord's pastimes. And like this, if we are engaged in hearing about Lord narrations, engaging in Lord's chanting holy name, and engage in the devotion service, in the mood of servant, and then very soon, as Lord, we see in the past tense of as He is transferring all the Mathuravasis, and they're getting him up from the sleep and seeing that they has come to this wonderful city of Dwarka. Maybe by the grace of Krishna, someday or other, will be also transferred back to the spiritual world and wonder how this happened. Hare Krishna. Yes. So, can you have Prabhuji is asking questions? Okay. Brahmaji became? Sorry? This is mentioned in the Prabhupada mentions this is in the purport. This comes in 8th canto, 24th chapter. This like he mentions either Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur or Siddha Swami, either of them, they tells. And this is from Matsya Puran. Like they quote some uh, slokas which mention this reference that Brahmaji in his daytime slept for a while and this pralaya happened. Yeah, dozed for a while. So, thank you very much. Kindly forgive for anything spoken beyond my realization, and praying to all the devotees so that you can bless, and so that what I spoke I can apply in my life. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jai Gaur Premanande.